are going to change the load at one place, and what is the equal effect on the other area. So that will be that was about the interconnected system in different area control areas, and the next was interconnected system in the frequency bias. So based upon different bias factors, that we studied how actually the frequency control, how actually the frequency dependency about the systems. So the next thing is about the state space model. So what is meant by state space model and all those things. So actually the state space model is nothing but it's the design. So state space model. So it will be having different state space vectors, and it's mainly used for the purpose of the stability analysis. So we know that the Routh-Hurwitz criterion. So in a control system, by using the Routh-Hurwitz criterion, we are easily can find the stability analysis of the system. So based upon that, we can determine the range of parameters. So in the Routh-Hurwitz criterion, what happens? So if the negative is determined there, negative sign, so that means that system is stable. So based upon the different parameters, by comparing the different parameters, we can go for the stable operation, stability of the operation. So here in the state space model system, the system allows the design of a controller. So normally this is state space model is used for the design of a system, design of a stability of the system. So he designs a controller technologies, different controllers. So using the state variables. So what are the different state variables that we will discuss in the end of this session. So what are the different state space variables? So this is very useful for the multi-variable system, single variable, dual variable, and multi-variable systems. So in the multi-variable systems, these state space vectors, state space variables, and state space model will be useful. So let's consider a first state space model of an isolated system. So this is an isolated system. So we are just observing this system since from the second module. So the third module, AGC, automatic generation control. So what are the different parameters that is having? So the AGC will be having governor, the turbine, the generator plus load, the droop, and the integrator. So by combining all these things, we are going to module our generation control. So this is one isolated system. So the isolated system is nothing but the system will be having a governor, turbine, a generator, and the load. So by combining, we can call this as so by combining, we call this as isolated system. So this isolated system with the automatic generation control. So that system that we are going to analyze now. So that's now just consider a system with AGC. So this is delta omega s. So the output will be delta omega s. Delta omega s. So what? So you know how to calculate the transfer function of an control system. So this is a control system. This is not any other system. This is a control system. So we need to analyze. We need to calculate the different state variables in order to go for the stable operation. So if we are going to consider any system, that should be operated with the stability, with punctuality, that is regulating, and security, stability, and regularity, that is punctuality. So these things should be, we have to maintain in our system. So in order to go for the stability of the system, we are just considering the stable operation by using state space vectors. So for that, we have to calculate the transfer function. So we know that transfer function is nothing but the output function divided by the input function. So for just now consider for the generator plus load. So we are just calculating the different control formulas for each and every instruments. So for each and every block, that is, we are going to consider for generator plus load, then for a turbine model, and then for governor model, and finally for the whole model. So like that, we are just calculating stepwise. So for that, now the transfer function for generator plus load. So the output is delta omega s. Then input will be delta Pm of s and delta PL of s. So this is our control 1 by 2hs plus d. So just I have substituted here. So 1 by 2hs plus d into delta Pm of s minus delta PL of s. So delta PL of s is the input to the generator plus load from the load, delta PL of s, and delta Pm of s is the input from the generator governor plus turbine module. So here we are having two inputs. Okay, two inputs for the generator plus load. So I am just resubstituted here 1 by 2hs plus d into delta Pm of s minus delta PL of s. So you know the meaning of summation here. So in the control system we have studied that summation. So delta Pm of s, which is a plus, minus is delta PL of s. Okay, so that will be equals to delta omega s. So this is the delta omega. Just I have written here. Just it is blurred. Okay, so the next thing is just solve the equations. Okay, delta omega s. So delta omega s into 2hs plus d. Cross multiply delta omega s into 2hs plus d is equals to delta Pm of s minus delta PL of s. Solve the equations, nothing is there. So just apply Laplace. So s delta omega s is equals to d divided by 2h. D divided by 2h into delta omega s d divided by minus 2hs. So plus is here. So this is transferred into right side, that is minus. Again multiplication is a factor. So adu divide factor agutte ashte. Okay, multiply irodu right side send madare divide agutte. So minus d 2hs into delta omega s plus for delta Pm of s. So delta Pm of s divided by 2h minus delta PL of s minus delta PL of s divided by 2h. Multiply ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Delta Pm of s minus delta PL of s divided by 2hs plus d. ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, just equal ಆಗಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. 1 by 2hs delta Pm of s divided by 2hs minus delta PL of s divided by 2h. This is for generator plus load. This equation is for generator plus load. So that will be given by equation number 1. Next go for equation number 2, that is for turbine. Same steps. ನಾವು ಒಂದು ವೆಕ್ಟಾರ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿದೆ, ನಮಗೊಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ in order to form the matrix we are just considering one by one. So what are the different outputs are there? So different outputs, that is delta Pm of s is there, delta omega s is there, delta PV of s is there. So these are the different outputs. So what are the different inputs? So different inputs on the delta P reference of s is there. So delta PV of s, delta Pm of s, delta PL of s. So we are just forming a vector by using different input functions, different output functions, and different control functions. So control functions are nothing but our 1 by 1 plus STG, 1 by 1 plus STTR, and 1 by 2hs plus d, 1 by r minus ki by s. These are the different control functions. So by combining all these things, we are forming a vector. Okay. So we are just considering for the turbine now. So for the turbine, people can easily analyze now output by input. Delta Pm of s divided by delta PV of s is equals to 1 by 1 plus STR. So just cross multiply delta PV of s into 1 by 1 plus STR, that will be equals to delta Pm of s. So transfer function, that's it. Solve ಮಾಡಿ equation solve ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನಾರ್ಮಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 1 plus STTR into delta Pm of s, that will be equals to delta PV of s. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ delta omega s. So this is the output function. So similarly we have to do for one more output function. So output function ಗೆ ನಾವು equation ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ delta omega s ಗೆ equation ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ delta Pm of s, then next will be delta PV of s. So ನಮಗೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ equation ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ತರ equation ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. s delta Pm of s. So s delta Pm of s is equals to, so simplify ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, delta Pm of s of into 1 plus STTR. So delta PM of S into 1 is delta PM of S plus delta PM of S into STR. Delta PM of S into STR. So ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಪಿ ಎಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ minus 1 by delta PM of S divided by TTR plus these things delta PVS divided by TTR. Delta PV of S divided by TTR. This is the output equation for turbine. This is for turbine, equation number 2. Next go for governor model. So similarly for the governor model. So what is there in the governor model? This is the governor model. So we are having the output delta PV of S and the input is delta P reference of S and also delta omega of S. So look at here. So this input ತಾನೆ. So ಇದು output ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು input. Input ಎರಡು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. ಒಂದು reference, one is from the integrator and another is from the droop. So from the droop is nothing but delta omega S. This is the input to the governor. So transfer function ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? Output by input. Delta PV of S divided by delta P reference of S minus delta omega of S. So ನಾವು output equation convert ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. So ಅವಾಗ delta PV of S is equals to, here simplify, delta PV of S is equals to delta P reference of S minus 1 by R delta omega S. So 1 by R ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ feedback droop characteristics. So input in the reverse outputting. So that will be our feedback. So that will be given here. And this is the control function 1 by 1 plus STG. So for governor 1 by 1 plus STG, for the turbine 1 by 1 plus STTTR, and for the generator plus load model is 1 by 2HS plus D. So these are easy to remember. So just substitute here delta PV of S. Okay. So delta PV of S into 1 plus STG. So that will be equals to delta P reference of S minus 1 by R delta omega S. So now bring the S factor into the output function. S factor into the output function. So ಏನು S ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಈ S output function ಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. So S delta PV of S. So that will be equals to, after simplifying, minus 1 by TG delta PV of S. So ಇದನ್ನ multiply ಮಾಡೋದು. Delta P reference of S into 1 by 1 plus STG minus 1 by R delta omega S into 1 by 1 plus STG. So ಅದನ್ನ multiply ಮಾಡಿ cross verification ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Simplification. S delta PV of S, that will be equals to minus 1 by TG delta PV of S plus delta P reference of S divided by TG and minus delta omega S divided by R into TG. R into TG. S ನಾವು ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. S ಇರಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ. delta P reference of S divided by TG minus 1 by R delta omega S divided by TG. So this is the equation for governor model. So we have derived S delta omega S, S PM of S, S PV of S. These are the different output functions for governor, turbine and generator plus load. The remaining thing is integrator, KI by S. Integrator ideyala. So integrator KI by S. So what is the output? Output is the P reference of S. What is the input? Input is the delta omega S. So substitute here output by input. Delta P reference of S output is equals to input into control function minus Ki by S. So just take the S term here. S delta P reference of S is equals to Ki delta omega S. This is I, not L. Integrator Ki. Ki. Okay, minus Ki delta omega S. So equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, equation 4. So these are nothing, these equations are called as state equations. Output equation for generator plus load, output equation for turbine, output equation for governor, output equations for integrator, performance integrator. Okay, so these four equations are called as state equations, state output equations. So by using these four equations, we are forming state vector. So in the time domain, we are just considering x is equals to delta omega, delta pm, delta pv, delta p reference cell. So what are these? These are our output. ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಡಿರೈವ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು output. So delta omega is the output of the whole thing, output of the AGC as well as output of the generator plus load. So delta pm, output of the turbine. Delta pv is the output of governor. Delta p reference is the output of integrator. So by considering the output equations, we are forming a vector. So this vector will be given by x. X is equals to delta omega, delta pm, delta pv, delta p reference. So we are just considering for the time domain. So take time domain. So the external input. So the external input as delta pl. So delta pl, we are just getting the input from the load models. So delta pl. This is the external input, delta pl. So that we are getting from the models. Requirement of load. So requirement of load is called as delta pl. And state equation transformed into time domain and they written in terms of matrix. So delta omega, delta pm, delta pv, delta p reference. So with the time domain, this is with the time domain. So that will be equals to. So how we got this? So we got this by our equation 1. So this is our equation 1, equation 2, equation 3 and equation 4. Okay, I will show you one equation. So just consider for the equation 1. So equation 1, s delta omega s is equals to minus d by 2h into delta omega s. Minus d by 2h into delta omega s. So delta omega is equals to minus d by 2h into delta omega. Okay. Next, what is the next term? Next term is the pm of s. Delta pm of s. So 1 by 2h into delta pm of s. 1 by 2h into delta pm of s. So we don't have delta pv and delta p reference in first equation. So that's why it is written as 0. You can observe here. No delta pv and delta p reference, but we have delta pl. So that delta pl is written here. It is the external load, external input. So extra added. So 1 by 2h delta pl. 1 by 2h delta pl. Okay. So similarly for equation 2. So delta pm of s is equals to, there is no delta omega s in the delta pm. Okay. There is no delta omega m in the delta pm equation. We have only delta pm and delta p. So those two only comes here. Delta pm, delta p. So so just we are bringing the equations, output equations in terms of matrix multiplication. So matrix multiplication, right? So just you multiply the matrix, these two matrices, you will get the same equations. You will get same equation 1, 2, 3, 4. So delta pm of s is equals to 1 by ttr delta pm plus delta pv into 1 by ttr. Okay. For delta pv, so similarly for delta pv, so equation 3, so delta pv minus 1 by delta pv of s. So delta omega is not there. Delta omega here it is the delta omega minus 1 by rtg, minus 1 by rtg. Next is delta pm. Delta pm is not there, so 0. Delta pv is minus 1 by tg, and delta p reference 1 by tg. There is no delta PL, so 0, 0. So I have written equation 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of matrix. So equation 4, only delta omega s is there, that is Ki. So remaining thing is 0. Delta P reference. Delta P reference is equals to, so here you can observe, yes, delta P references will be written as delta P reference dot. So delta P reference dot is nothing but S delta P references. Similarly, these also. So x dot of t. So x dot is equals to ax of t plus bu of t. And these are the state equations. State equations, where state variable equations. You people solved these type of equations in your M1 or M2. M1 or M2. Okay. Common equations, different differential equations. C x of t plus du of t. So what is x of t? So this x of t is nothing but state vector. So this is our state vector. This is our state vector. And y u of t. So u of t. U of t is our input values. So these are our different input values. Y of t is our output vector. Y of t is the output vector. This is the y of t. This is the output vector and this is the input vector. This is the state vector. Okay. And from this equation 6, what is written? So this will be written in terms of x of t is equals to delta omega, delta pm, delta pv, delta p reference. So same x and the end bardidnala first. So same x of t. This is the state vector. And u of t is nothing but input vector, that is delta pl. So this is the input vector, delta pl. And y of t is the output vector. So this is the output vector, delta omega. Okay, just compared here. So this equation 6 and this equation and equation 5. We are just comparing equation 5 and equation 6. So just by comparing, we get A is equals to state vector. This is our state vector. X of t is equals to A x of t plus B u of t. And y of t is equals to C x of t plus du of t. This is A. And what is B? So B is our input vector, 1 by 2h. That is delta PL. So there is no C. C is 1, 0, 0, 0. 1, 0, 0, 0. And D is 0 here. We don't have D vector. D is not there. So 0, 0. D is not there. So 0, 0. So C 1, 0, 0. That is by this delta PL. So if you multiply delta P references into 1, 0, 0, 0, then you will get this minus 1 by 2h. Matrix multiplication. Okay. This is about state variables. Isolated. So normally this is asked about 8 marks in your examination. So state space model of an isolated system. So the question may be asked like, derive the equations for state vector or derive the equations for state space model of an isolated system, or bring out the characteristics for A, B, C, D vectors. A, B, C, D. So different 3 to 4 types they can ask in your examination. So if they ask, this is the sorry. Okay. So this is about the state space model of an isolated system. So we will solve some numericals based upon this. Okay, here he has given 2 control areas. So the two control areas are connected via a tie line with the following characteristics. So ನಿಮಗೆ tie line ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಇಕ್ವಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನೇನು ಟರ್ಮಿನಾಲಜೀಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, tie line ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಟರ್ಮಿನಾಲಜೀಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. So here we have given two control areas, so area 1 and area 2. So area 1 is having a regulated characteristics and droop characteristics, and he has given the base area for both the characteristics. And a load increase of 100 megawatt occurs in area 1. So in the area 1 what happens, 100 megawatt of power is increased. And what is the new steady state frequency at the change in tie flow? So here this is the problem regarding change in load with respect to area. So we have a session that what happens to the interconnected system when a load changes in first area and area 2, and what happens to the grid when the load changes in both the areas. So based upon that concept, the problem is derived here. And area 1, the 100 megawatt load is there, it is increased. So what is the new steady state frequency at the change in tie flow with the nominal frequency? So here he is asking what happens to the system, what happens to the steady state frequency when the change in load occurs at area 1. So again he is asked to do the same for change in area 2. Okay, the first case is the change in load takes place at area 1. So this is the equation. So just I hope you people are remembered the equations. So when the load changes in the area 1 or area 2, we have to calculate delta omega as well as delta PL. Delta omega and delta PL. Change in the frequency as well as change in the power. Change in the power is nothing but change in the tie line. So that is okay. Delta omega is the steady state frequency, and delta P12 or delta PL12 is called as tie line flow. So normally tie line flow is nothing but the power flow through the area 1 to area 2. So that is called as tie line flow. Okay. So here we have delta omega. Delta omega is nothing but is equals to delta PL2 divided by beta 1 plus beta 2. So beta 1 and beta 2 are the different bias characteristics. So delta PL, delta PL1. So delta PL1 will be given by change in area 1 with respect to given load. So 100 divided by 500. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಂದ ನಾನು ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋಡ್, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್. ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಇಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಒಮೆಗಾ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ. ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ PL is change in load. Delta I is change in integrator. Delta V is the change in voltage. Delta I change in current. Delta R change in regulation. Okay, so these are the things. So delta PL1 will be given by change in load area 1 100 divided by 500, given 500. So what happens, that is 0.2 pu. So we are just converting into per unit values, normal value divided by base value. So here 500 is considered as a base. So 100 divided by 500, 0.2. And we know what is beta 1 and beta 2. So beta 1 is equals to 1 by R1 plus D1. Beta 2 is the 1 by R2 plus B2. So these are the equations for bias characteristics. Solve ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲೋಗಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ. So 1 by R1 is 1%. 1% is nothing but 0.01, and D1 is 0.8. Wow. So similarly beta 2, 1 by R2, 2 is 2%, 0.02 plus D2, 1. So this will be 100.8 plus 51. So beta 1, beta 2. So this is what we got. So just next thing is delta omega. So delta omega, so that will be given by 0.2. So that is delta PL. So that divided by beta 1 plus beta 2. Minus 0.2 divided by beta 1 plus beta 2. Okay. 1.375. So this is in terms of PU. We need to convert that into hertz. So just multiply with 50. So we got minus 0.065 hertz. So this is the change in frequency. And in the question he asked, what is the new frequency? So that's why I repeatedly telling you guys to read the question carefully. So in your internals also I have twisted one question. So normally they ask for steam as well as hydro, but I have rechanged it into hydro into system steam. So I don't know how you people are solved that. Just read the questions correctly or not. So no, just check it once. And here the change in frequency. The change in frequency we got. So that we substitute here with, we have to calculate for the new frequency. So ilge bidbard idna. Delta F calculate ಮಾಡಿ ilge bidbard answer ಅಂತ calculate new frequency. So new frequency is minus, so 49.93 hertz. So this is the new frequency when, this is the new frequency when the change in load takes place as area 1. 100 megawatt load increase ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, frequency decrease ಆಯ್ತು. So this is the theory that you studied. So what you studied, whenever the change in load takes place, whenever the increase in load takes place, there will be a decrease in frequency. So look at here, 50 hertz in the 49.93 hertz ge decrease agide. Similarly for tie line flow, tie line flow is nothing but, so what is the power that we need to flow from area 1 to area 2, that is delta P12. So that will be given by delta PL1 into beta 2 divided by beta 1 plus beta 2. So we have delta PL, beta 2, beta 1, just substitute here. So after substitution, you got minus 0.06791. So multiply with our standard 500 megawatt MVA, you will get 33.597 megawatt. So what is this 33 point? So this minus 33.597 is nothing but drop. So this is a drop in tie line flow. So area 1 ನಲ್ಲಿ 100 megawatt load ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ P1 area 1 ಇಂದ area 2 ಗೆ ಏನು ಪವರ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 33 ಮೆಗಾವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. 33 ಮೆಗಾವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. So this is about area 1. So similarly for change in generation for area 1. So what happens? So just substitute the equations here. Delta PM1, change in generation of area 1. So that will be given by delta PM1. So is equals to delta omega by R1. So this is the standard equation. I told you guys to remember always. So delta PM1 is equals to delta omega by R1. So delta omega that we saw, that we calculated above, and R1 is given. So this is the minus, sorry, 0.13175 PU. So convert that into base value 65.87. So this is increasing generation. So area 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 100 megawatt load increase ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ area 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 65 megawatt increase ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So remaining thing ನಾವು area 2 ಇಂದ ತಗೊಂತಿದೀವಿ. So that is the comparison here. Change in generation of area 2. So what is this change in generation of area 2? ಅಂದ್ರೆ area 1 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಡ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಏರಿಯಾ 1 ನಲ್ಲೂ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್, ಹೋಗಿ ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಜನರೇಟ್, ಅದು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇನು ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? So that will be given by delta omega by R2 minus delta omega by R2. So delta omega that we calculated R2. So substitute R2. So that will be given by 32.9375 megawatt. So we can observe here 65.875 plus 32.93. So combinedly we get 100 megawatt. So this is how the system works. So area 1 ನಲ್ಲಿ 100 megawatt increase ಆಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಏರಿಯಾ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ 65 ಮೆಗಾವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ 32 ಮೆಗಾವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಸೊ ಏರಿಯಾ 1 ಯಾವ ತರ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಯಾವ ತರ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಏರಿಯಾ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ. ಸೊ increase in load in area 1, that will be for 100 megawatt, and change in load in area 1 due to drop in frequency, delta omega d1. So drop in frequency, so if they ask for drop in frequency, multiply with droop, delta omega and droop. So droop is 1, that is 1%, so delta omega will be given by minus 0.527. Similarly, we have to calculate for change in generation, change in load in area 2 due to drop in frequency. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅವ್ರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏರಿಯಾ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಡ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಪವರ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟೈಲೈನ್ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏರಿಯಾ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಇನ್ ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ. ಈಗ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ 49.93, ಆ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಆ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ 50 ಹರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 49.93 ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಒಮೆಗಾ d2. ಸೊ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಒಮೆಗಾ d2, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ minus 1.375. so d1 d2, we have delta omega, multiply that delta omega with d1 and d2, so you got minus 0.65875 megawatt. So this is the change. So the total change in generation, total change in generation when because of the drop in frequency ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು equation 1 and equation 2, so this add ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 98.81 megawatt. ಸೊ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ವೈಸ್ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಏನಾಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಯರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ಒನ್ಸ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ 98.812 megawatt. ಸೊ ದ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ 1 and 2. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ 1 change in generation in area 1, change in generation in area 2. I am just added these two things, 65 point and 32 point. So that is 98. Similarly, change in load. Similarly, change in load, that is equation 3, 4, 5. So ಅದನ್ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ 98.81. ಸೊ ಈ ಎರಡು ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ, 98.812 ಮೆಗಾವ್ಯಾಟ್, 98.81 ಮೆಗಾವ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದಾದಾಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಔಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಗ್ರಿಡ್ ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೋಡ್ ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಗ್ರಿಡ್ ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ AGC ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್. AGC ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ P12 ಇಸ್ ದ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. ಸೊ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ P12 ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು, ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ 33.59 ಮೆಗಾವ್ಯಾಟ್ನ ಏರಿಯಾ 1 ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಇಂದ ಏರಿಯಾ 1ಗೆ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ 32.937 ಮೆಗಾವ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ 2 and 0.68575 megawatt is the drop in area 2. Okay, so this is for change in load in area 1. So similarly you can calculate for change in load in area 2. So you will do the analysis, you will do alone. So adu nimge ivattin work adu. So I have solved here. Okay, I will send this to you people on tomorrow. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಏರಿಯಾ 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೇಮ್ ನಾನು ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಏನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಕೊನೆಗೆ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇನಫ್ ನೌ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಕ್ವೈರೀಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್. If people have any queries, you can ask. So interconnected system, the state variables, the problems regarding the interconnected with respect to load. So these things we studied. So just go through once today. So if you have any queries, if you got any doubt, without hesitation, please do ask. So you stop the recording.